And yeah, I think we do have to consider it.
They're already fired up, and you just know they're going to give everything on that server. paiN for Brazil, for South America. They're up versus NAVI. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it indeed, Shocks. We've got 7 teams locked in and one more set to join them. The final 5 looking to step forth tonight. It's a privilege to be bringing you guys NAVI and paiN Gaming this evening. 20 Brazilians stepped forth in Copenhagen to try and compete, and there's only these 5 remaining with that dream, a nation behind them, and a hell of a task at hand.
It's amazing. It's really been amazing, and you know, many of the Brazilian teams are not expected to go that far. So to be this close on the doorstep of playoffs is something remarkable in and of itself.
Wonderland will be the first casualty of this best of 3. And we're gonna have Bit holding back. They did see the cross, no doubt, but there's also this lingering presence in main. So the top hut player drops off. And as we get the 2 CTs going down the ramp, there's this challenge again. eMath putting himself up on box in the crosshair of NQZ. So the scramble comes back up as fast as it went down, but there's still plenty of time here.
Yeah, an interesting spot. Nissim holding, waiting for any action his way. They spread the map so quickly, it can be a situation where NAVI make a mistake, walk into him. And for now, I think biguzera has his pieces in the right spots. More information gained here for paiN. And there is the walk forward. Let's see if it pays off. Oh, dangerous with the bomb, and Alexi actually lets him leave.
Jesus, that was a chance and a half for Nissim. JL's trying to stay mobile too. Quick switch of his position. With 2 faces pressed against him, biguzera stuck into the site. They don't see that one coming, but we're starting to talk about missed shots from everybody still alive here. Finally, somebody else goes down, and it's the favor of paiN. Bomb still yet to cross over. And that pressure from main, well, it could have been the key. Instead, NQZ puts down Alexi. JL has been stranded up in heaven, and he's going to have to fight his way out as bomb is going down to B. biguzera backside holds. They've got him pinned into this fight. Nothing JL can really do about it unless he just left, go down. Hell, hit the ramp to B.
I guess, yeah, that's the only thing that he could do. But they could beat him, you know, by going squeaky. Just wants to try to get kills. Thinks the round's over. And that's a good energy to keep hope alive. In a matchup, that would be a massive upset, right? I mean, we did see NAVI not play up to standard yesterday versus Cloud9, but Cloud9 also played extremely well. And so they come into play against a team like paiN. You know, Heroic had just lost to them. They're not happy about the fact that they lost to a team like paiN. I mean, they can say, you can be proud of how well paiN played. You can be impressed, but you're not going to be proud of yourself for a team that does not have any of the practice that you've got, the pieces you've got, the stature, or sort of the imposing presence of some of the names on the teams that they've taken down so far. And so NAVI, well, they've got those names in the rear view of their mind, thinking about what they may be up against.
Not to mention the legacy of NAVI, right? A mainstay at all the Counter-Strike Go majors of past. First CS2 major in attendance, but a top 8 would, you know, put them at the top of the history books for this very first major. Quick scramble downstairs. Alexi B tries to slip in. Let's see if he can get into any shenanigans. Ooh, he's got the Zeus, right? And why wouldn't you take Dark as a post-plant spot?
But can you trust a man with no Zeus skin at this point?
No.
To find the right angle, you know?
No, you can't.
Alexi definitely extremely creative when it comes to new technology. I'd say, like, in terms of innovating on grenades, that's always been on something. And you know, you've given him the nickname of the Grenadier because he's nailing HEs like nobody has since Astralis in 2018. So that's another point of the game that he sort of figured out when nade dropping became a thing. Right. So he's always kind of first to figuring out new stuff.
Dude, when nade dropping became a thing, it was like within a week that he breaks the all-time grenade damage record on Dust 2.
I don't think it's broken either. It was over 1,000 damage in 1/2.
Yeah, absolute unbelievable scenes when Alexi can start chucking out frag grenades. It's like a mortar. Bomb pops, clears the board of NAVI's members. paiN convert from pistol to the second.
And they're going to ride the energy all the way to the end. You can feel it. And I mean, what are you going to tell yourself in the team talk, right? What can't we do at this point? What is the reason that we doubt ourselves? We haven't seen ourselves in a situation where we played against a team like NAVI, so what? They already took down teams they've never played against, teams that should be beating them all the time.
Everything to gain and nothing to lose.
Leave your mind wide open. Strip the name at the top of NAVI. The roster that is coming together has their own insecurities. Look for them.
Fast push push here from Alexi. He's going to take up the fight. Him and biguzera. And our desk said, if you could stop Donk outside, then surely you can stop biguzera.
Hard part about that is you can stop Donk one time, maybe. One time.
As far as biguzera is concerned, he is unstoppable. He has had some of the most spectacular clutch moments of this stage of the major. So consistent in the pocket. Oh, but with ramp held back like this, they tried to get going and they're just met by heavy utility. Great grenade protocols coming out from NAVI. Indicative of their comfort here on Nuke. Nissim walking around. Oh man, utility really making this round tough for paiN Gaming, whether it's smokes, frags, or fire.
Chilling now. There's some good staging here to the round, and a couple of attempts tried on the entries. NAVI set him back.
You know, if there's any demon on the shoulder of paiN whispering in their ear, if this game goes on and if the chance at actually securing playoffs becomes real, it's that 12-0 lead that they had over Heroic on Mirage that they almost threw.
But that's also a nice thing to have in your rear view, right? biguzera in the interview after that said, yeah, everyone was nervous. Everyone was so nervous. And the best part is just no hesitation in his honesty about exactly how he feels and how surprised he is sometimes at his own play. I don't know why I'm so good, why everyone's dying. I'm just feeling it. And I think when he's intuiting that feeling in that way and not overanalyzing it, you can kind of understand how he can be so consistent. He just has a feeling and he trusts it.
Bigu's somebody who has many feelings as well. We go back to the RMR when paiN qualified, and it was a path to qualification that a lot had criticism for. But, you know, biguzera is 25 years old, father of 2. And
astronaut, key to the city.
And even just getting to the major, you saw him overwhelmed with emotions and just speaking of how much it meant to him and his family and that they are the, you know, the driving force behind his motivation. There's no doubt that they're watching him right now trying to shine brighter than ever before. Left in the dust when the pain of 2023 came apart at the seams, when the stars were stolen and the in-game leader disrespected and left behind. Molotov over to biguzera is not going to allow for him to cross. Good thing he doesn't, because that nade would have just found him exposed. Challenge in front of it. Cowes trying to press himself up against the wall.
It's an interesting spot because Lexi can't really push back again safely. He's got to wait for a flash. He doesn't see anything. They do a good job of getting forward and tucking.
Yeah, teammates also giving good support, right? Keeping Alexi pinned behind blue allows for Cowes to still hold on to what he has.
Look at the call out though. Oh yeah, the smoke and mini Alexi does his job here. It's a dangerous job. It's king crab fishing, but he's up for the challenge. He takes his peek, even though he knows that he was spotted a few seconds ago.
JL's activity on Nuke and lobby has been so good this week, and sure enough, he's going to catch off biguzera. Nissim's here to trade it. JL loses his teammate, but has a chance to run back with smoke down and a teammate who just dropped Ven. If they think that they can go squeaky, suddenly there's still CTs around.
And we got the half trophy push here for Wonderful, but a great gap found by JL.
No hesitation.
Yeah.
Never any hesitation.
They've clogged all the pipes right now. There's no way out of this squeaky burst to upper if they want to do anything else. So let's see if he can get the kill. No. It's always going to be on the head. Alexi starts off that round, and again, he's put in an extremely dangerous position, but it also reveals that he's got support from heaven. He's outside as the rifler. They can be lurking in all around him. And if he's not aggressive in that spot, then maybe he just dies without a kill and no information. So great peeks all around, and I think he moves his units very effectively here, right? They have been making sure there's no drop down into squeaky. They have the half trophy push because they saw so many players outside. They have JL going in for lobby control for the exact same reason. So they do capitalize a lot, and it's very nice to see NAVI having their pieces used better, because when they played against Cloud9, they wouldn't have won this game if they played like they did versus Cloud9. I'll put it that way. And it would be a great time to have a better day in a 2-2 elimination game versus a team that still has stuff to prove, even if they have been very impressive.
Man, dunked on. Having proven so much already just to be in this position, but of course, once you've got a taste of victory,
you never know how if you can get this close again, you don't know. This is so far into the most important tournament of your career. Just because you got here once doesn't mean that you're going to again. That's the impressive part about championship winning lineups and teams who have eras, and the Brazilian teams of past that have done it.
JL again feeling the comfort of open space inside of lobby. Good support from Bit. This one's a clean sweep. 3 members of NAVI knocking down paiN. That 2-0 start long gone.
Their propensity to just go for slight bits of map control here and there, it's feeling like a chessboard here for NAVI, which is, again, a good sign. But moving slowly, one step at a time, almost as if they're, you know, playing a game of D&D, waiting for their turn, finding a little bit of space, waiting for the reaction, finding space somewhere else. And it's all looking very orderly, and it's also punishing and crippling the amount of space that paiN want to get back later in the round when they don't win outside. They don't get that first kill. And they come back to lobby. You can see this round's about to be a little bit more simple here for paiN.
But exposed. Nice timing so far on cracking open these smoke grenades. You know, NAVI putting themselves up there as a team that does it well. Bit challenged on ramp. 1 kill to his name. 3 players looking to push past his line. And Wonderful will be smoked out. So the B site becomes questionable at best here for NAVI.
We got 2 rotators in control side already.
Not bad.
On a good timing once again.
Flash out from door. Imez going to challenge with that. And safe to say, very important kill to peel 1 of the 3 off the bomb site if the bomb is even to be planted by NQZ. And that's a big if with double doors open. Now, there is nobody over towards single if they can figure that out, or if they just take the chance, slipping down beneath silo. But with this deep angle being held from Ime, you'd think he'd be able to react. Or does this distraction serve up the push from NQZ? Yeah, he swings.
Oh, the timing is
but
beautiful.
But a second CT, right? This could be big. Alexi B hanging back on stairs, but gets peeled off. And now from 2v4 to 2v2.
And they're thinking. The gears are turning. And they're not getting lazy. Next rotation is called out.
Steps still on fire, but the door's open. That plant, oh man, it's exposed. NQZ will not find a third. So now the retake's on with the open hand of Wonderful, and they're gonna come in maybe from different directions. JL looks up, but first Wonderful peeks. And Lux, he's got himself a chance here. Early clutch attempt from Lux. Oh, pin from Dark. JL makes sure that Navi's winning ways keep going.
Here comes Mr. Reliable once again to deny a big moment. And what is a 2v4 that was entirely possible. We see the second to last kill is 1 bullet, no shot back. He's low HP, but he's on point. Lux was a great player in this stage as well, alongside biguzera, a name that's not talked about as much. But so was JL. 40 frags for him in regulation. Or sorry, in 30 rounds. Last 29, I think, actually. Left his mark. Definitely so far as a rifler for NAVI. And that was versus Donk. That was versus Spirit on this map. The first tack comes in here for paiN. And we've seen a good width of ideas, like different styles of CS coming out with the, you know, spread the map into lurk positions and wait for mistakes, which is actually what NAVI do, but I'd say they do it a little slower, which is an interesting sort of comparison that we'll see when they switch over to their T side. Into, well, what seemed like it was going to be a pop explode upstairs into a distilled position through the ramp. I love them blowing up the ramp smoke in the middle of the round when it might not be someone standing in front of it, especially the deep smokes that can't be watched.
Just being disruptive. I think that's one of the best things you can bring to the table versus a team that's trying to prove themselves as underdogs. Just keep that pressure on, keep them guessing. If paiN are pushed off kilter, it'll be tough to get anything going. This round will be tough regardless. Single AK, right, for NQZ? Now he's currently escorting that bomb behind red, and it's a matter of timing before Wonderful maybe thinks he can go for the peak.
Yeah, well, we're looking outside for a flash over top of Secret. That will elicit him to be able to come up.
He's coming at it.
There it is. Oh!
Collateral. Lines up the shot, but Okay, cows. Desert Eagle down to Secret with an op now. That's a second weapon in the hands. Oh!
Yo.
While at the same time, Nissim comes out from Squeaky. eMed, good recovery to get that frag and also get away from the danger zone that could have been main.
That was quite a discovery. Now, we have seen the late trophy pushes coming in for NAVI, and the late plays back towards lobby out of paiN. So it looks like a handshake. We're going to come in carefully, clear everything out, and NAVI are going to take the space they know is given to them. I feel like a lobby lurk holder in a lot of their defaults would just benefit them greatly. I mean, at this point, we've seen 3 rounds where there's been a ramp push. If they had somebody there to at least challenge, that could be an option late in the round if things don't go right outside, or having somebody in the lobby, because NAVI are happy to take back the space that's given to them. You don't turn down a gift like that, especially when you know it's just like a repetitive flaw. But good prep from NAVI to find those gaps, and now it's sort of paiN's turn to show that they can answer back. Take it to the next level. Because you can hope and pray that your first plan works out when you go for default, pick outside. Oh, we know how to kill this guy. But when things go wrong, there are going to be situations where it does. You got to have plan B. It's the most glasses that we've got on a CS team.
Okay.
Let's see if they can see the future.
Envisioning themselves in the Royal Arena when they woke up this morning. But pressure again, man. NAVI are no strangers to applying just enough of a push. And then he tries to go one better. biguzera catches wonderful. JL, though, saving them again.
They did it this time. I think they actually faked a little outside control to elicit that push. They punished the push into lobby.
2 on the corner. JL's coming at this. But, biguzera, okay, he didn't go all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big fat smoke. You know, you
Loud
have to walk
reload.
for a while, wouldn't be able to see anything. They got to be expecting a squeaky walkout, right? The way they're doubled up now. The question I have is, do they push after this? There's one other player on the map over on ramp.
Oh no!
Oh,
cows just exposed to Squeaky.
that's a timing he has to be aware of in that spot.
Yikes, paiN finally in a 3v3 and a nice mid-round. All of them grouped up while the counter-terrorists were spread, and he dies like that. What's left of paiN's gonna come back at ramp. They've used it to get down to B once. To put them in the best position they've had. Any of these rifle rounds, that plant in the 2v4 attempt. biguzera now starting to just rush him down. Alexi B's gonna hold the line. And the op of NQZ, smoking off single door, having to press out. This is not ideal for the opper, and he's gonna miss his one chance. Alexi B slips down and tucks them in. A 6th for NAVI straight.
I mean, they seem prescient right now about what paiN want to try to do. They've got the answers for it. They've clearly got the firepower today, and I think it's a lot of the action that they're getting inside of Squeaky. Like, it's just so many favorable engagements they are finding on different timings in the round here for NAVI that are bringing them so many presents in the form of frags. That comes up. NQZ doesn't spend a nickel. Nothing on the floor for him. Interesting. Waiting for the op. And behind that, they have a pretty decent buy, but coming in with no flashes on this round.
With Alexi inside of Secret as well. This wall of smokes. Not going to be unnerving.
I like a lurk like this in a round like this because biguzera can take as much time as he needs to. He's very useful to come in late upside, but now it just comes down to his teammates who are without him.
Nice timing here.
Wow, he's
Oh, the lineup. Holy hell. eMed, you can see him trying not to kill Wonderful. That op moves into the site and dies for it. Cows, NQZ, they're trying to charge down ramp again, right? This has been kind of the fallback protocol of a lot of these paiN rounds, and it's still another CT just ready to rock. Bit, nicely done. Double headshot on the A4, trying to make the most of the 30-bullet mag. Cows into a clutch. With time on his side, with bomb on his back, but with opponents all around him. So as he creeps back in, JL ready inside of lobby. There's a chance he sees the shadow, but no sir, JL sharp as ever. And JL is just the king of lobby throughout this week of Navi's Nuke. I mean,
He's been invaluable.
constantly pressuring in the middle, always there for the trade, and he'll do it on T side as well. Very passive, kind of giving away control in order just to kind of rope you into his traps.
Again, one of the cooler pickups for Navi as a guy who wasn't picked up based on just stats, like looking at his Paris performance is why he's on this team. No one's going to doubt that. But at the same time, you look at the stats from Paris, doesn't tell the story of how you get a contract this big, and yet he's proving that he's worth it.
Nissim, 5v4, here we go. A little bit more pace from paiN. They've been trying to slow burn a lot of these. Alexi B is going to get shot in the back of the head. A 5v3 for the offense into the A play on the floor. JL and Wonderful hanging on. And sure enough, it's Cowes with the double kill. Molly to heaven, but Bit is back down ladder.
He's so fast. He literally was just in mini entering and Bit came to check on him. Now he's given up his position and is positive that biguzera hasn't made it yet and has no way to fight back. Shout out to Cowes for this one. The kid from the Academy League, the player we know who was the best player on Furia Academy. What was interesting about their style of team was they were trying to create a mini Furia because obviously the players would eventually, in theory, feed into the main lineup. But he was the only one who had the essence of Furia, who could execute on it with all of the aggression and the sort of 2020, 2021 style. But the team didn't work at all.
Ooh.
They didn't win their games. And yeah, messy spray from Bit means paiN will grab this off of an X Factor play from biguzera, a round like the last, cloned but then sped up.
I like that. Starting to mess around with the tempo at the tail end of this half. Trying to play a game of chess and it doesn't work. Flip the board. Get in there. And sure enough, Cowes, that double kill. Good utility pressure backside the Molotov, forcing Wonderful to not be in cover, but rather exposed to hut door.
And if you're a Navi fan and you were following the overpass game, what was missing from that T side? It was not doing something like that. It was dying the same way every single round. Where are the new, faster ideas? Where was the plan B in that game? So biguzera shows us how he gets his team back into matches. And sometimes it has to be him. But just because he's the IGL doesn't mean he can't be the star.
Party on the rooftops. Molotov's destined, but one misses. Top hut, Molly misses. So does the second one. Oh man, Emat able to hold on. Now at least there's no exec that comes behind this, or else that's a position they would have certainly held on to. But of course, still two more Molotovs for paiN. Better hope that if they're banking on another top hut Molotov, this one lands.
They're just going to contact after this. They would look like they wanted to bait out the CT utility.
They did.
Actually, there is nothing. No smoke even for Squeaky.
Couple flashes, that's it.
I think that paiN are just waiting to see if Squeaky gets resmoked, because you always keep it resmoked to 30 seconds if you can on CT side. So this is an invitation to try upstairs and pressure on Navi to find something back end. This is the trophy push that has come in. It's been a feature of the CT side.
Yep, getting frisky.
paiN don't take too long.
Backs turned to it. They're all inside of lobby and nobody's watching. Nobody's watching at all! So they sit stagnant inside of lobby. Bit puts up a triple kill. And just when paiN thought they had them where they wanted them, with no util, with open routes into the A site, it's a well-timed Navi flank.
When you wait for the textbook timing,
flat.
Man, didn't want to take that fight at all. When you wait for the textbook timing, what do you get? The textbook response. 30 seconds, it can't be ramp anymore because it can't be downstairs and it can't be a heaven ramp. Can't be outside because there's not enough time and there was no presence spot. It's going to be upper. You've already let Navi know that. There was a timing for you where the CTs were without any utility on their belt, and you didn't go when you knew you had a chance. If you wait longer, you have to do more on the map.
There was no noise anywhere, no presence whatsoever. So an excellent counterplay. Ooh, and poor Lux on the side of the smoke gets pulled off by Bit. This is looking like a delicious 9-round streak out of the Navi CT side.
Yeah, this is great. Great from them, great from Bit, great from JL. I think the max rounds you get is 9. You're in pretty good spirits here.
Oh, excuse me. No, they sprinkled one in right that fast round. 2-0 start. Now, the fastest round paiN played with rifles is the one round they won. barring the first two of the half. And yet they just go back into this crawl. At least it's with numbers outside of main. Alexi shouldn't be able to get the all-in triple multi. Shadow advantage, he's ready for the first one. And Cowes, quick enough on the trade. 45 to the clock, a very solid A defense again and again between Wonderful's op and JL backside.
But they've lost their engine now. They have no way to split. They're just coming in from the perimeter.
And bit comfortable as ever, pulling back from ramp, which has never really been an issue. He'll go swinging. And NAVI demanding respect on this defense.
Yeah.
NAVI on Nuke looks good.
That's huge. And there was no, amazing place for paiN to go. And we know NAVI can play the map. So again, comparing yesterday to today, I've had serious fears about NAVI. Those are quelled now, of course, because, well, what are we seeing? Total dominance on top of good tactics, on top of good map control, and playing like they're the better team with all the pushes. They're not like Mad Maxing the aggression and pushing through Squeaky and running through smokes or anything like that. They're walking like they normally do, but on really fast timings and just being aware.
Feels like such a well-oiled machine from NAVI right now. But simultaneously, I feel like it's not like paiN are trying to throw a wrench in the works. They see this war machine in front of them.
Yeah, they look a little stiff, and I think they are sort of maybe in reverence of basically how well NAVI are controlling their situations. And I can only give them credit for trying to do a tempo change up with biguzera's play in through mini on that early timing, at least. But you're right, there wasn't much more than that.
paiN trying to hold back this machine with nothing but manpower. And the attempt's going to blow up in their face if they're not careful. Plenty of CTs outside. Wonderful working with the P250 as the ramp hit gets set up. And there's nobody in ramp whatsoever here for paiN. There's nobody downstairs either.
They can't do this. If they don't have their vent rotator ready, they've lost their two main choke points. That's what Wonderful's watching outside as he sits here on red, purveying the scene. He's just making sure that they lose one of their rotations. So now that Lux has gone downstairs, it's a single point, but he is going to have his attention split. He's already overstressed watching Secret. This is already sort of a failure here from paiN as they slowly get into position. No plant will go down, but now it's scary to take control side. They need the frags.
Be lucky if they can maybe stop it just with kills. But two T's comfortably over towards control.
One more out in Nissim. He's coming in slowly from the ramp.
Trying to get downwards. It's a lot of bodies here to try and take back double door. Oh, Wonderful gets caught. Here we go. Lux starting to get this one moving forward. Oh, but then the flank out from Alexi. Perfectly timed. biguzera back onto the fence. There are fights on all fronts. This is a scramble for paiN to try to get back pistol, to deny NAVI their double digits. Labored fight, but Alexi gets it. And now poor biguzera is just stuck, torn between two directions, and soon to be shredded. JL off control, and NAVI total control.
That's a beautiful strat, a beautiful play, and it does capitalize on, once again, a team that looks a little stiff. A team that wasn't willing to believe that it was going to be that lower split that could come down. They really wanted it to end upstairs, but they did that without actually earning or influencing the ideas for NAVI. They got their game plan. They saw no one going secret. They had ramp open, and they took control of it. Also, that second flanking from Alexi, I'm not even sure how he snuck into that position, but it was really exactly what they needed. paiN almost fragged their way out of it with those Lux dualies, but now they're looking at double digits within like 15 minutes of this game starting, so you can only imagine how they're feeling.
Probably like absolute shells of themselves. They have rode the emotional roller coaster of Counter-Strike. They've hit high highs. Right now, their lowest low. When push comes to shove, NAVI come to play. Nissim with a chance at the opening. Nicely done with the MP9, right? Lesser weapons here for paiN. But by God, they're gonna try their damnedest. Lux auto shotty. He does a ton of damage, but JL's the king of the weird guns. Bit over the top of main. NQZ
Wonderful.
drops back sight with a scout. Nice headshot on Wonderful. Pressure out from MP9s on vent. Oh man, it's getting weird, it's getting awkward, and all three CT's positions now known to NAVI, who are at the moment slowing it down, but also low on health. Nice! Finally, Nissim comes back up that vent.
I'm gonna finish this meal. I'm gonna finish this meal no matter what.
My God, I'm gonna do it. And he does.
Wait a second.
No.
Oh, he didn't see it.
What the hell? Okay.
A zany round. Finally, something weird happened.
I was going to say, paiN have the fastest round of the game. They've also got the weirdest round.
Yeah, the weirdest round. But like with Navi, there's always some weird ones. And they get the most... Well, it's always their T side, the most mystical T side in esports right now.
Yes, but it's really becoming something special.
Yes.
Is I think the best word to describe it. The Finnish twist.
Yeah. Just a very loud deagle shot as well. All right.
Ooh. 5 deags. I'm down.
Yeah. This is like the carnival game round, right? You're just basically testing your luck. Figuring out who's the best player with just a straight up one-shot pistol. One chance to play.
And the difference being carnivals are rigged and Counter-Strike every round is winnable. That's why Navi slow burn this one with their deagles. We haven't brought up the numbers, but by God, Bit, 16 kills, 6 deaths in one of his more quiet major performances.
It's a bit time, you know what I mean?
And QZ here with Nissim to enforce, but the smoke makes it a little weird. Ooh,
there's
wonderful.
A deagle. No, another one.
Alexi into the M4, but he turns his back. biguzera, he's hot on the trot, eh? Quick to pick up that slack. But now you've given Bit a Colt. You've given Navi still enough time. Emat cautious on the approach here. He's cleared all the other corners, but Lux gets an early warning sign with the shoulder. Deagle of JL now softened up. Bit's trying to run that M4 towards hell of all places. He is looking to slip into the back of A site.
Got it.
JL.
All right.
This is perfect because the CT just dropped down, so Bit's going to come up this ladder. There are 10 seconds on this clock, and biguzera is concerned about lobby.
But now Bit has to make noise, right?
No, he's
coming
still
in slowly.
slow, quiet, and biguzera still presence of mind.
All right.
Make sure to post the double kill to save the day for paiN, because that would have been embarrassing.
Yeah. Leave it to biguzera to be responsible for the kids, all right? He's going to be the adult in this situation. Make sure that everything goes smoothly. It was a cool round. The deagle investment damn near pays off. And in fact, they have paiN scared for what that's worth.
Now paiN's got Navi right where they want them. Frag grenade and a Zeus, T-side Zeus, right? It's on the rise. We saw m0NESY play Zeus from top main, jump through main, Zeus the guy CT vent into an M4 double kill with a buy just as tragic looking as this one from Navi, so
yeah.
Never write it off.
If only we could all have movement as good as m0NESY. Society if. Here comes the business.
Zeus is right here. Yeah.
Oh. Wait.
Into the M4, but plays with the Glock on burst and will pay the cost. It is 4 up for paiN, trailing by 4 rounds. But a CT side.
Actually a fine position for them now. I mean, it's 3 rounds that Navi need to get, so I think for paiN, they're just 1 foot in front of the other, see if they can make up for their mistakes in the first half.
So they've got the ball rolling.
Yeah.
This would need to be an avalanche of CT rounds to get it over Navi. And we already saw spectacular T-side calling from Alexi B on Nuke versus G2 to kick off top 16 here in Copenhagen.
That comeback was a statement
Yep.
for the beginning of the stage. Now, that being said, after seeing that, you wouldn't think that we'd be on the last day of the last game casting Navi still trying to get in.
Sure.
So there have been flaws along the way.
Yeah, well, those flaws happen on other maps. You know, they're ancient. Their overpass yesterday left a lot to be desired against Cloud9, but Nuke has never been in question. It's also the map that they took off of Spirit.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
You know, it wasn't just a good T-side either. It was a T-side comeback against G2.
That's
so Navi, they've been under pressure. They've thrived.
He's spitting facts right now. These are just factos for sure. That would make you nervous, would it? That would make you nervous.
A little.
Okay.
There's no place for nerves now. Ooh, 4 NQC.
No, gotta keep that smoked for your homies.
Just jumping across. easy pickup. Luckily, they've always got biguzera to bank on. Another A defender dies out. biguzera is more concerned about outer, and there will indeed be that single secret cross.
They're waiting. Ooh, they're waiting patiently for their chance right now. Look at our teammate here, backside in Lux.
Gonna have to be big.
Oh my God, so close.
Yeah, they get up in front of his grill, and nothing is offered from the A defenders. The only piece of success here for paiN is biguzera's opening fight outer. Each of those A defenders die untraded. One of them just jumping through the air on half health from fire. Hello, Emes stuffs Nissim up close, and that is NAVI getting back in.
Massive find. But yeah, it's definitely an error to not have that Molly and Squeaky smoked with the door blown open right at the start of the round when someone's got their face jammed in the doorway. So having to reload, jump away with low HP is one thing. They wanted to take the duel into it, but they needed to be more aware of their teammates' position and help them get out safely. paiN cannot afford mistakes like that because, as you had just pointed out, their T side on this map hasn't shown any flaws so far.
Instant wall of smokes, instant A floor Molotovs. It's an initial investment that's got paiN moving. biguzera chains up his spot too, right? Instead of playing by main, he wants to be a part of this A defense by the looks of it. But isn't that just indicative of what biguzera has been doing all week? He's got to be everywhere all the time to do everything. How much can you ask of one man? There goes the squeaky smoke. JL given a fight, but the 5-7.
Oh, they make it ugly.
He's able to catch one out from heaven. biguzera gets his and dies. So we get this clawback from NAVI.
2 stolen back, and they kill the player backside. So for the moment, the CTs will actually be nervous. They'll be sitting there, and they can go up into heaven, but it's actually so hard to re-clear backside from this spot. Look at NQZ. He can't peer over the ledge. So they've got to sit and wait for other options. They're going to walk right into this. Oh my
Bit
God.
gets a fight in the distance. They will be caught off by the close main play. Nissim going to make sure to put another on the board for paiN. And this is a one-off round now for NAVI.
That's pretty good setup there from paiN. They catch the second level reaction, you know. Meaning NAVI could have gone anywhere from just continuing forward the plan upstairs to going back to ramp, and they went for the long route outside. And there's 2 CTs here ready to cover this.
Pressure on Nissim to get both of those wrapped up. Does it. Second highest rated player for paiN coming into this best of 3 behind biguzera. You know, when paiN are such an unknown entity, it's nice to see his name in lights.
biguzera is going to be one of those IGLs. I'm just going to say this right now, that no matter what teammates he gets, they're going to be playing their best CS under him.
Like Shuhei.
Like Shuhei. There are a few IGLs like this. You're just going to consistently see that no matter what their team, they're going to have good results. Maybe I felt the same way about Kixen. Obviously, it wasn't a great game to go out versus paiN, but versus another IGL, I think is in him in essence in some way. But biguzera is someone we've seen, you know, beat out Furia for a spot at Lisbon in a major matchup to really make a name for paiN Gaming. Lose his roster, recreate himself, and still remain the same player in his new lineup.
Yeah, he's always had that clutch factor. Always been somebody you can bank on mid-round to make the right decision. Just such good positioning when it comes to big plays. Speaking of which, another new spot for biguzera from main to heaven, now secret.
Massive pressure on the ramp hold. They're going to be pushing into this Nissim without one.
This is not what paiN need right now, but this will certainly help. biguzera gets the kill on secret fast enough. Look at the CT scramble, but JL's gonna hear this.
He changes the round, you know, but with that kill inside a secret, they have to change their approach slightly. And they will walk back to upper because they've scared the CTs and they're rotating down lower. It's a perfect mid-round call here from Alexi.
And it all hinges on JL. I've bigged him up as a lobby player. He finds these timings to be a nuisance.
So we go from Nissim as the one person on ramp to now NQZ is the one person upstairs.
He's got to do it. Needs to have a moment. Will land the easy one on Alexi, but where are Alexi's teammates? He's hunting for them. NQZ, that's 2, but got bit right there on the trade out from Hut. It's man advantage paiN with a nice clean flank from biguzera, and this stalling Na'Vi war machine is offering it over. Bit has been phenomenal tonight into the 1v3 clutch, but currently not in possession of the bomb, so he's trying to piece it together with 15 seconds. This is not ideal. Now starting to scramble as he sprints over to the bomb. Nothing he can do. Vents is occupied, lobby is full, and Heaven's got one in it. This is paiN with another.
So let's go over that quickly. It's the failure at ramp, right? But because they have the secret player in biguzera to know when he needs to approach, and he takes out the Lurk and Imma outside, then suddenly ramp is no longer a play. You know, they're connected in that sense. Both rotations down to lower. This is the frag that matters. Then it gets pushed to NQZ. He gets a little bit too much material being the solo guy on the site. When Na'Vi know that they set him up to be the solo guy on the site, it's an op, run him down. So there's a spot where Na'Vi needed to pounce. They were unclear, didn't believe in the position that they garnered for themselves. They created a good spot and didn't jump at the opportunity, and then paiN's rotations did the rest.
Now things are starting to get real. Na'Vi were flaunting that lead after their CT half, but biguzera got a whole pack of players! Huge spray from behind red, made easy by the fact that it is just Glocks, but that's what you need. A nice, clean, concise round, little mechanical flair out of biguzera, and a slowly growing belief that paiN can post a CT side to challenge that of Na'Vi.
That was nice. That was satisfying. Turn him into a human centipede right there. All four heads down. Timeout called in for Na'Vi. And it does get worrisome almost exclusively because the staging to the round on the T side so far in some of these big moments has been good. But then the inability that we just saw for them to close out is what matters the most. And now the lead shrinks and paiN grow with confidence. We almost get into a situation where paiN are more worried about how they might throw the game as opposed to how likely they are for Na'Vi to let them back in. They already know now that Na'Vi will let them back in. Na'Vi now have to earn that respect back.
Curious to see if we get a situation like we did with paiN, getting into the later portion of the half. Maybe Na'Vi and Alexi will crank that tempo. biguzera's gonna open up again. Talk about tempo, Cowes!
Are you serious?
Definitely not a coward, as he just goes charging through Squeaky like it's nothing.
Yeah,
right into the lobby fight.
That's the Furia Academy Cowes. He's always down to try that. But you don't see him doing that. Very disciplined so far in this game. And another catch for NQZ, playing in a Liege, looking for lurks. Wow, what a play to make. I mean, this is the equivalent of smoking down mid on Inferno in a CT round after you just played bracket and Orange and back on B side. You know, all of a sudden, and on round 21, you let them know. You let everybody know how you got to a 2-2 matchup. A brave call. More than brave. Who even does that play right now?
Nobody. And what's funny too is it's not, you know, that doesn't catch you off because the door has been blown open by the CTs and then somebody runs it. You hear him open the door and the lobby player never even reacts because who the hell is going to do that?
You can't believe it. You're still in your territory very much.
You've played hundreds of rounds of Nuke. Some of them against the best teams in the world, notably G2 and Spirit this week. And you have never been hit by a Cowes rush like that. Wonderful's got 15 seconds looking to hang on to the AK, and he has been quiet throughout this first map of the series. He's going to try to charge into the A-boy. This is getting real. Yeah. This is a one-round difference out of paiN.
Yeah, they're getting the body bags ready, man. That's, we've almost got Navi and Rigor Mortis at this point.
And this is paiN, who in their last match were on the opposite side of this spectrum. 12-0 start on Mirage against Heroic. Almost threw that away. This time you've got nothing to lose after your T side. Throwing up a defense that has closed this gap to one round that will shove Na'Vi back onto pistols. But those pistols have tools to work with. There's also a ton of utility here.
There are a few things more powerful than belief in this game. And you better believe that's the only way that paiN have been able to conjure up a run like this.
But early damage on biguzera, who, as always, is instrumental to paiN Gaming's success. He will switch over to the AWP instead. Is there anything he can't do? We'll find out.
Fail.
Don't jinx it. Big cross down secret. We have not seen 5 players get down secret like this. NAVI have been clumped up, and they will now, from this point forward, charge into that B site. The rotation is low, and it's the op of all things. It is biguzera on the 20 health. Nothing he can do about Decon, but he's got Nissim here to help him, and that's a one and done. Huge deagle shots coming out of JL. And so NAVI, with one of their lesser buys, have cracked open the B site. They're going to juggle those guns back into the post plant, and it is a challenge for the young guns of paiN to keep this momentum rolling. And QZ will catch Wonderful. Again, he will fall with nothing. JL blind. That is 3 kills deep. He is at the top of the board for NAVI, and he's looking to do everything here in round 22 to secure OT at least.
Oh, and the odds are drained. The time is gone. JL wins with the 2 deagles, the op shot, and he secures the op for Wonderful to take it to the next round. That's 12. OT secured off the eco, and it's a little bit of damage on biguzera, and no response. You saw that there were 2 players inside of ramp and 1 rotated down. They should have committed 1 down to clock and had a second ready to come in where biguzera did. But they didn't want to believe it again. The defense calcified.
Oh, that
and
one.
NAVI had nothing to lose.
While blind.
And it is great shots to save the day, but it's also, I think, the fact that you can be more carefree on a round like that and stick to a plan, move fast, that NAVI were missing a little bit on the round where they just had so much utility, so many guns to work with, they wanted to play it too carefully. They could throw that away, all their inhibitions, and just go for it. And that's exactly what they needed to remedy the situation. And now we shine a light, excuse me, on the lead. And the fact that this was 9-3 to begin with, and they had rounds to lose and to learn from. Certainly could be the last round of the game, but we don't really have that evidence so far. Oh, wow. And QZ dies. It's a shoulder peek from Imma.
It's a 5v4 that comes with it. It's a chance to crank the tempo, but then he sees the barrel, and this one's starting to come apart at the seams. NAVI back-to-back outer rounds to get openings in their hands. Nissim falls off boost, and this is looking like a flat-footed round 23. biguzera in heaven with only 1 teammate left. And they are slowly getting closer. He looks down, snaps up, and gets it, but it's having to be all biguzera all the time. A shot out from Garage. And when NAVI are pushed to the limits, it is Alexi B who will call back-to-back outer rounds to get this first round map under wraps, because this was getting close, starting to slide away. They will not lose that nuke streak here in Copenhagen. 1 over G2, 1 over Spirit, and now 1 over the challengers of paiN.
Yeah, biguzera definitely.